Hi guys, and welcome back to another Show on the Buffalo video. Hope you've all been well, and we're having a bit of a fun one today. I'm in my Pikachu onesie, you know, like a bad man. And yeah, so today we are going to be showing what some of the brutality of the Players Cup are like. I'm sorry I haven't done any more videos on my budget series. They will be coming for the newer players and players that don't want to spend as much on the game while trying to keep a competitive, fun environment. If you haven't checked out any of the budget series that I've done so far, I'm doing one for every different letter of the alphabet, so be sure to go and check them out. They're good fun. The whole purpose of them is, as the name suggests, they are budget decks whilst trying to keep the general air of competitiveness about them. So that's the whole point of those decks. So yeah, feel free to go and check them out. They are good. So yeah, we're just in the one of the Player Cup qualifiers now. Unfortunately, it's an extremely sad opening hand, but it is what it is. And we'll go here, and we'll go here and pass. So I assume we're probably against ADP, so yes, that's what we are against. And with any luck, they'll be forced to discard a couple of boss's orders, and having already used, or haven't already, a lack of access even, sorry, to the Eldegoss that we can see here in the active. It means they'll be less able to boss up things like Crobat and such. But it is very likely that they are going to get the turn 2 altered creation, as it would be with these decks. They are purposely turbo to sort of be able to make that happen. They have discarded their other water energy, which means that if they don't get the turn 2 altered creation right now, because we play Crushing Hammers, there is the possibility that we could Crushing Hammer this water away. And fortunately, they don't get the turn 2 altered creation. So I do have a couple of energy on the Zacian, which is unfortunate. But we will go here, and because we haven't seen any of our ball search or Pokemon search cards yet, we just dive directly in. And thankfully, we do have access to ye old Crobat. Oh, that's not what I want. Crobat. There we go. So with the 1 ping on here plus the power accelerator that's most likely to happen right now, we get rid of that. And we'll try and get rid of one off the bench as well, which doesn't happen. And unfortunately, it is just a power accelerator, which means that if they go in with the Zacian and kill this off, which could happen, a switch plus attach energy in a 9-card hand, it's not a lot to ask out of these decks, which just seems exactly what he's going to go in and do. But, you know, as long as the auto creation isn't happening, it means that they take more than 2 knockouts to finish the game, which is good. And there's no evidence of turbo patches so far, so I don't think I have much to worry about in regards to actually making this, well, in regards to them making the altered creation happen, sorry. So we'll do this, and we are just going to straight up Marnie, I think, because we do want a bench space open so we can dig a little bit further with Crobat if we happen to find one, which we do. So we'll do this, and we'll get rid of the energy, just so we can draw some more. We've already used our supporter, so we're not going to grab anything from that. We want to keep the Pokecom open, so even if we do draw a Pokemon now off the Crobat that isn't an Eternatus VMAX, it means that we can still Pokecom that back to get the VMAX. The ideal scenario would be that we would get 2 Pokemon off this, which we do actually. So thankfully we do have the knockout on this. So we'll get the VMAX, which we've prized 2 of. Me showing not being a very good player in these player cups, demonstrating a lack of prize card searching, which I implore you not to do. Always check your prize on your first couple of searches. I don't know if that... No, it's definitely not my first search, but... So we'll dig that there, and then we'll go in with Dread End. This is sitting in his easy target, and that's just a simple victory for the round 1 of the one of the many Players Cup qualifiers. So we'll pause it here, and we'll be back for the next one. So we are back for round 2 of this Players Cup qualifier. And I've faced this player many a times on the ladder. He's a fellow player of the dub donk deck, first turn kill deck, which I used to grind the expanded ladder just to finish the ladder off, get all the points and whatnot, and mainly to do like some dailies and stuff like that. So first turn is actually looking really good. We are losing the boss, unfortunately, but that's just the way it is. And we'll go here. And we will get ourselves a Crobat. It's unfortunate that we started with one, but... So, oh well. It's just one of them. And get another Pokemon down. So, it's looking good, providing we can find some sort of switch card. It's not an ideal Pokemon to be opening up with, but here's what it is. A research of the entire hand and what he's playing. Fire. Ooh, and he's lost 2 welders this early. That is brutal. And it's a Mewtwo deck. Interesting. It's if there was a higher rarity of Charizard GX, I imagine he'd be playing it. Look at this. Some blinged out justice. This. What's this? Ripit. I'm not even seeing the full art of that. I didn't even know it came in a full art. It's got an energy, so that's gotta go. Well, maybe we can take first dig at it. I think we'll get rid of this. We will get another Crobat. It's very unlikely that we're going to get everything we're looking for, but we can always give it a go, can't we? And unfortunately not. So now with this being in the active, all I need to do is find another welder and attach energy with this. That's somewhat annoying. I should have attached to the other Eternatus. But oh well. How many energies does this remove? Discard 1 energy. And it can't, it's got 4 retreat. Right, I'm not too worried about this. For now, I think we're just going to pass turn. Because we'll be 1 card deeper into the deck. We can attempt to Great Ball for the Eternatus VMAX. We can Viridian Forest and Energy away to attach this to retreat. And then possibly even go for another Crobat. Not that I want to use all 4 this early, but whatever happens, happens, I guess. Now we definitely need to switch again. And my opponent is dead drawing, so yeah, because we're in 1 card deeper, we'll go here, get rid of this. This is not very important. Get this. We do have another Hide Energy in the deck as well, so I'm contemplating not attaching energy just yet. Thing is, I don't want to lose too many Pokemon either. We'll get this out. We may not lose them if this Great Ball can finally find me a VMAX. No, it can't. And I definitely don't want a Marnie him either, so I'm going to leave that in the deck. We're going to go like this. That was probably bad, but we can attach energy at any other point. That's got a lot of HP, and we hit it though, to be fair. That was very close. Nearly evolved the wrong Mon. Would have been awful, wouldn't it? So we get another one of these down, one of these, and that's 240, so yeah, and that's a concede, so easy round 2. Usually the Players Cups are absolutely brutal to me, so I was going to say, I don't know what's going on now at the time, but yeah, alright, and so we're going to pause here, and I'll see you for the final round of this Players Cup. So we are just about to start round 3 of the Players Cup Qualifier. I have to keep mentioning that. Keep mentioning it as one of many as well, I suppose. I'll be going first, as predicted from a fire deck. Yeah, didn't want a basic anyway. This seems to happen to me all the time in the finals. It's literally just mainly the finals that I seem to lose a lot, which is really annoying. My opponent gets like ridiculous starts with fire decks. I imagine that's a Volcanion in the active as well. What are we betting? What are we betting with? Like, this is a Volcanion or a Victini V. That's a Center Scorch. So also not potentially great because, well, I mean, it could be worse actually, because we can retreat the active anyway via the hiding energy. Oh, what am I doing? Yes, we do want to place a damage Areno on there. If I didn't have that hiding energy, this would have been a really awkward turn 1, just due to the fact that I wouldn't realistically be able to do much, because they could literally just radiate and heat and take the energy off the active, which would have been really unfortunate. My opponent digging for a Volcanion, probably has the Bird Keeper or Switch. A Volcanion. Show me the Bird Keeper, show me the Switch. Has neither yet. What's he getting rid of? That's a lot of fire to get rid of. Well, it's not a lot, but... And did he find Switch? Doesn't seem like he did. I may have struck lucky in this game, potentially. Let's see how lucky we can get. Do you have a Switch, good sir? Or is your internet dropping? He's still digging for the Switch. He's probably got it now, though. For sure. This is why I always Crobat first, wherever I can, rather than this Dedenne, because it would have been better to Crobat first, and then go for Dedenne. It maximises your draw capabilities. Well, he gets a Welder, so... Not something, I guess. Guess I'd just be going for Radiating Heat. The thing is, though, I could potentially get extremely lucky right now, which isn't looking likely, but so we'll go here. We're going to be losing this anyway, unfortunately. And we'll put this here, and we'll just be going for research. So, not a great start by any means. Let's get that off there. And we'll be getting rid of this. As we've attached return, we'll be getting one of these. Another one. I tried to get these out of the deck as much as possible. And then, yeah, we'll Crobat for 3. We can hit an attack, It's just like... I wasn't really expecting to, per se. We will grab this because this is our pivoter that we want to start enter every turn with. Whenever my opponent's taking a knockout, I'm going to be opening with the Yveltal, because it's a free retreater, so it allows us to pivot better. The Marnie is fortunate. And we have an amazing hand, assuming he takes a knockout on this 6 game, which doesn't, he's not risking it, or whatever the case may be. So we are just going to retreat this. It's on, how much does give it? 20. So it would have been on 230, it's on 220. So I do need to keep 1. So we'll pop this here. We will send back this because we've got 1 in play already, just in case I do need to bench to save life for whatever reason. I mean, it is well, there's 1 Crobat in the deck. Yeah, we can afford to bench the save life. I don't think it's too much of a problem if we don't. And we'll Crobat for 6. Now, I'd be happier with him having a smaller hand, but at the same time, I assume he'd want a Welder next turn, and if he Marnies, he's in a bad position anyway, and I can always shuffle my own deck if need be. This is difficult. That being said as well, if I can find a Pokemon and my... Yeah, let's do it. If I can find a Pokemon and my Dangerous Drill, I can get rid of my own Viridian Forest. Which we don't, which is fine. Wasn't expecting too much. So we'll go down for knockout. We've got the Hiding Energy in hand as well. So presumably he this turn would want to stall by bossing in my Hooper if he doesn't find a Welder. Which we do see a Welder. So we'll see a Centiskorch hitting for a minimum of 160, I presume, this turn. To which we will hit right back for 270, with an attachment for turn as well. We see just the Welder for 1. Very unfortunate for my opponent. He does have this thing on, but these really don't worry me with the combination of both Crushing Hammer and... what's the word I'm looking for? Crushing Hammer and Dangerous Drill. He may just want to leave the Jirachi in the active, in which case I am definitely going to boss this in. But either way, we'll be winning in 3 turns in total, even if we don't use boss to boss this in. This is where he's going to Marnie me. Oh, put a Welder on top, or well, grab onto his hand. Sorry, that's what Eldegoss does, obviously. And he's just going straight for the attack, it seems. Very, very brave. But obviously, he's got a Welder in hand, so we will be getting rid of that. We'll be putting this here. There's not too much that I want. I want to leave that in the deck in case of a Marnie, although, that being said, we're not going to get Marnie next turn anyway. He's got no half-decent attacker in play. He'd have to scoop up net this, put Heatran down and Welder to that, which he didn't have the cards in hand for with a 3-card hand. He's got Welder and those 2 fire, so he'll have 3 unknown plus this. So all these are now unknown, which doesn't even get the knockout, so it wasn't really, yeah. And that is the end of one of the Players Cup qualifiers. Fortunately, we hit a couple of opponents that were just like scoop phase activate and stuff like that. That does happen, and like salty players will just scoop because they know they've got 50 keys anyway. It's no, if they're going to go on a big tournament spree for the day, they're not going to sit there and do X amount of games where they know they can't win because they've had a bad start potentially, whatever the case may be. So I'll show you quickly the lists that I'm working with. Eternal Dread, because I'm cool. That's what we have to call it. We have a fourth one of these now, actually. So yeah, this is a list. It's pretty basic. It's very similar to the Hammer Eternatus build that's been running around recently. I've opted for the lack of recovery, which in some cases is like really detrimental. The Hammers build that I've seen online has a 4th Eternatus, and it has a 1 of Ordinary Rod. I'm not too fussed about those things. Like Crushing Hammers are a pain, obviously, and they do lose you the match, but they lose you the match due to your lack of attachments, not due to your lack of resources, because 10 energy is a lot of energy anyway. So it's not because of that. So I thought there was no real need for the Ordinary Rod, personally. I mean, obviously, by all means, if you want to, then go for it. I opted instead for the perfectly reasonable, has saved me so many times, Mr. Reset Stamp. You know, ADP players get greedy, they get rid of the bosses and whatnot, they use one boss in a Crobat, and then the Forcer finds an Eldegoss after getting stamped to 3, and that's all there is to it. And then they're forced to attack into Eternatus, you free into another Eternatus, and they just can't find the boss in time, which is why I use the Reset Stamp, because they just go in all the way with all of the Dennies and the Crobats and stuff like that. They leave themselves vulnerable to the fact that this deck plays 4 Marnie. So it's a lower boss count than most decks. I think the other one opted for 4 bosses. 3 is fine. I mean, GXs overall, you're basically usually always one-shotting the tag team GXs, minus ADP. Like, this puts the ADP to 270 anyway, and then you have these to get rid of the big charm. So, you know, with the 4 Crobat, everything's search Crobat. You've got 4 Great Balls, 4 Quick Balls, and 2 Pokemon Communications, and the 4 Crobat. So that's 8, 10, 14 outs to drawing cards just there alone. And then you obviously have your draw supporters, which are 8 as well. So 4, 8, 10, 14, 18, 22 outs to drawing cards, which, you know, is over a third of your deck to drawing cards. That's what makes this deck consistent. The fact that, you know, you can abuse 4 Crobat because you get the bench space for it, because of this bad boy. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please drop it a like, and I'm sure I'll see many of you viewers in the Players Cup Qualifiers over the next couple of weeks or so. To all of my fellow Masters division that are in the Players Cup, all the best to you, and hopefully I get to see some of my viewers and play against some of you soon. If I do, and you take a video of it, let me know, tag me in it, whatever the case may be, Facebook or Twitter. I am on Twitter under Sean the Bufflin as well, and I do have a Facebook page of the same name, so feel free to add me on social media and stuff like that. I will, again, like I say, as soon as the Players Cup has finished, I will be resuming the budget series. So again, for the newer players and the players that want to compete in a competitive environment without spending too much money, I'm putting in a lot of hard work and effort and skill into the game, knowledge of the cards that are available to me to make this budget series. So it is for you guys as players. Like, it doesn't really help me at all, especially with how much time it takes to go out my way to make them. So please, if you get the opportunity, do go and view them, because they are my little babies, or will be as soon as I've completed the whole 26 series. And it'd be good to hear new players at the locals turn around one day and be like, oh yeah, I made this deck because I've seen a video on YouTube about it. So yeah, that would be good fun. Anyway, again, thank you all for watching. Please drop a like just below, that would be absolutely brilliant, and don't forget to press the subscribe button, just so you can stay up to date with my more Players Cup videos that I'm going to be releasing, and eventually, when I get back into it, the budget series as well. Thank you all for watching, have a great day, and peace.